Welcome back to another episode of Merge Extra. Today we're shooting a Omani Women's Day special, and we have a very special Omani woman with us today. She's a personal trainer. She's an architect. Reem Al Riyami, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Okay, can we start by having you tell us a bit about yourself?
Okay, my name is Reem, known as Coach Reem on social media. I'm a personal trainer and I am an architectural engineer. Also, I'm a mother of two beautiful girls.
MashaAllah. Okay, so your story is interesting. You started off as an architect.
Yes.
And then you moved to personal training full time.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that and how that transpired? Wait, let's start by why did you get into architecture in the first place?
Getting into architecture was just a coincidence. When back then I didn't know what I wanted to do when I grow up. Mm-hmm. Honestly, until the day I asked myself, what do I want to do when I grow up? And then I remember that I'm already a grown up and it is what it is. So I did architecture because it was the chance that I had at the moment, which it was okay. And I loved the career of it. Meanwhile, as I grew up, I was always overweight. I always had the struggles of trying to lose weight and trying to keep up with the beauty industry and these beauty standards that are set to us as women. And I have tried every single way to lose weight, all the unhealthy options.
The fad diets and
basically,
all that stuff.
Yes. And throughout my career, I worked for 9 years in the architectural industry. I always trained at that time, and I did manage to lose weight eventually by learning how to do it the proper way. I found eventually something that I love to do, which is CrossFit. And that's when I started committing to that sport. And I started going there and doing it because I love it. And that was my story as an architect.
Okay. And then you made a switch to full-time personal training. When was this?
This was 3 years ago.
Okay.
Yes, I took a leave from my job it was an unpaid leave to explore my options in the field itself, in the field of architecture. Meanwhile, I was studying, I was getting certified in CrossFit. And that's when things started shifting because as I was working on architecture for myself on my own, exploring my options through the leave, I was also shadow coaching in a certain gym. And that's when I decided that I don't want to do architecture anymore, or I don't want it to be the major.
Okay.
And I started shifting into personal training and coaching.
So you took an unpaid leave and you never went back?
Basically, yes.
Okay. What made you want to take that unpaid leave and discover your options in the first place?
I was never comfortable in an office environment, to be honest.
Okay.
Like, I didn't feel like I belong. I always thought that there is something more for me to give. And that's what I experienced when I started coaching. The impact that you have on women especially is something that you see the influence of it immediately. And when I tried coaching and I started coaching, first I started as a shadow coach. I started finding myself better. I was happier. I was working longer hours, but I was much happier than I was working in an office job. And that's why I decided to not go back to the office again.
Unpaid leave and bye.
Basically.
Okay. Are you the kind of person who's comfortable with change?
On day to day, no, I like to have a constant schedule, or at least I like to know what is going to happen next.
Okay.
Having a schedule makes everything easier for me. But yes, I'm someone who likes change. I get bored easily. I think this is something to do with being a November girl.
November?
Yes.
We're together.
Okay. So yeah, we easily get bored. We're always looking for new opportunities. Yeah.
Okay. So for someone who likes day-to-day routine, I would say leaving a very comfortable office job is a bit scary. Was that scary for you?
It's still scary until the day. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Why would you say that? You've been doing it for 3 years now, sir?
Yes.
Why is it still scary until today?
My PT asked me the same question yesterday, and I told her that it's actually harder to be your own boss than having someone above you as your manager, because you can easily be so hard on yourself, because the more you do, the more you'll get back.
Okay.
And then there isn't an end point if you don't set it to yourself. So basically, an office job is a very stable job where you are going to get paid by the end of the month and your job ends by a certain time of the day. and that's it. But when you're a PT or when you work for yourself, you're basically working the whole day. Even when you're out of the gym, you're either replying to clients or programming something or thinking about what's going to come tomorrow, and so on.
Okay. So it's actually more working hours. It's harder work.
Definitely. Yes.
Okay. Okay. You're also a mother of two.
Yes, I am.
Okay. How are you balancing that with what you're saying? So you're saying it's more working hours. It's a bit harder to work for yourself.
Yes.
But you also have two kids. How are you balancing that?
It's
Have you found the balance yet?
It's a constant compensation.
Okay.
Where you'll always have to cut short in one area over the other. But I think that in the future, my kids will look back and really appreciate or understand why things have happened the way they did.
Okay. You have two girls.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so they're watching you.
Hopefully.
Okay, let's say one of your daughters comes up later and says that she wants to leave a stable position and do something like that. How would you advise her?
So I'll totally support that. Yes.
Really?
If she knows what she's doing and if
Okay.
she's good at it, then why not? Because that's the thing. When you ask me how am I balancing between the kids and between the job, being a mother today is much different than it was 10, 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it is a part of motherhood to go out and work, and the market demand is different. So working right now to provide means that you need to work in a different way than we used to work at the past. So it's not really neglecting the kids because you're out there working. You're actually working for them at the end of the day because you're providing for them as well at the end of the day. So I think they will grow up to appreciate this as well.
Are they old enough to understand that now?
My eldest is 9, and the youngest is 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think one of them would be old enough to
Yes,
understand that
yeah.
kind of concept. Do you take them with you?
Sometimes I do take them with me
Okay.
to my classes, yes, but they're also into sports. So if they're not in school, they're also practicing their own sports.
Okay. So they're into sports from a young age.
Yes.
Okay. Looking better, feeling better in your own body and everything, it has an effect on how a person performs in their daily life.
Yes.
So you see this effect in people when you train them?
Of course, it's one of my main goals. I think my biggest goal right now is to change how women look into fitness, because most of them are treating fitness like a beauty tool or like a beauty blender or a makeup brush.
Okay.
Treating fitness as a way to reach a beauty standard is not the right way to do it, and it's not a very healthy mentality because it negatively affects the women. As I told you, beauty standards keep on changing, and the reason they keep on changing is to keep women looking forward to reach something, and as soon as they get there, the beauty standards have changed. So if you're trying to train to reach a beauty standard that's set for you, it's going to change. 10 years ago, being skinny was the trend, and then it moved to being a curvy, and then it moved to being healthy, and now we're back into the Pilates body. But changing that mentality into using fitness to become stronger, to become more resilient, to live a longer, healthier life, that's the right mentality that will make fitness a journey that you enjoy.
Okay. So you try to push that kind
Yes,
of mentality to
of
your
course.
clients.
Yes.
Okay.
Every single day.
Yeah. You mentioned that you yourself have struggled with trying to fit with the beauty standard.
Yes.
Does that help you in reaching to the woman on a closer level?
Of course, because I have experienced what they go through, especially when they are younger women. I have tried everything that probably women have tried, slim teas, not eating enough, and then starving yourself, and then eating a lot of junk food, then following it with diet pills and everything.
When you
I've tried
said
everything.
Slim teas, I remember the horror stories.
And even us, like, for example, me being on social media, I get approached by these companies that sell these
Kinds of products.
yes, and they are willing to pay
Okay.
for us to promote these things. But then it comes to you of what are you trying to influence people with.
Okay. So you don't take those kinds of
Never. Yes, it's
promotion?
written in my contract. I do not promote to slim teas.
Okay.
Yes.
So slim teas in specific is I know. Okay. Okay, let's go back to the beauty standards. What do you think, what's your opinion on beauty standards, like the beauty standards of today?
As I told you, Annie, we need to start understanding that bodies are different.
Okay.
like not, we can't all fit into one size. It doesn't make any sense. We all look different. Our bodies are different. And I'm not here, like body positivity is something, but at the end of the day, you need to get to a point where you are comfortable with your own body and your body is serving you as well. There are certain conditions where your weight or your condition is considered a health concern.
Okay.
So when we reach that point, it's no longer a body positivity a body positivity option. You need to work on yourself. But other than that, as long as you work out to be stronger, to build muscles, to be healthier, to think about yourself 10, 15 years from now, that's the real goal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you're saying is there's a balance. So there are certain people who'll come up and say, for example, being, I have to say this in a diplomatic way, extremely plus size, okay? They would say that, no, you need to just have body positivity and everything. And you would say, no, there's a limit. If it's like,
of course,
yani,
yes.
damaging your health, you need to fix that.
Because obesity is a health concern at the end of the day. And it's not about obesity itself, and it's not about the number on the scale. It's about all the underlying diseases that come along with obesity, the high blood pressure, the diabetes, the joints, the bones, and everything gets affected. Your hormones get affected. So it's two extremities. Being too skinny or aiming to be too skinny is not healthy, but again, not paying attention to where you reach is also another concern.
Okay. You mentioned Pilates, you mentioned your own interest in CrossFit. I've heard a lot in the fitness community. There's a lot of people who are saying we're now into the soft girl era when it comes to working out, like Pilates, yoga, that kind of exercise. But you said you're very interested in CrossFit.
Yeah.
Many people, many women in specific, I've heard tell other women, like, no, that's too harsh. You don't do that kind of training. You need to be into Pilates and that kind of stuff. Do you agree with that?
No.
Okay. Why do you think they're pushing that kind of mentality?
As I told you, it's a market demand. I mean, Pilates as a sport is a nice sport, but it's, I don't, I personally consider, yes,
correct.
I am doing Pilates at the moment as well, but I do it as an accessory training. It's not the main thing. I don't see myself reaching my goals by only practicing Pilates, but doing it on my, active recovery days, doing it as a stretch, or on the days where I will only do cardio in the evenings. Yes, I would go for Pilates. But then that's the thing, the market right now is trying to push ladies into not working, to keep working into their feminine side and don't work under high pressure, and because that will affect your cortisol. But why not? The more you put your body under pressure, the better it gets, the stronger it gets. You don't really get stronger without putting pressure on yourself.
So you believe that putting pressure is good? Yani it teaches you how to handle the pressure?
Of course, because your body adapts to that pressure, and then it's not as stressful as it was to your body. Yes.
Okay. I've also heard like people saying that women shouldn't lift weights.
It's 2025.
Okay, so women should lift weights.
Everyone should lift weights.
Okay, women, men, everyone.
I'm certified in seniors as well, which is 65 years and above. And even seniors have to lift weights. Okay. Because especially women, as we grow, especially after the age of 30, we start 30? After the age of 30.
That's still young.
Yes, very young. Yes.
We're losing muscle at the age of 30.
You start losing muscles after the age of 30. And that's why you need to keep on training, and you need to keep on lifting weights and building muscles, not to become bulkier and not to become a bodybuilder, but to maintain your muscle mass, to maintain your bone density as well, because that's what will carry you through the 60s and the 70s later. So it's like an investment, basically.
So what you do in your 30s actually does affect what happens in your 60s.
What you do in your 10 and 11 years old affects as well. Yes.
I should have sat in a better posture. Okay. You still take on architecture projects here and there, you mentioned.
Yes.
As a freelancer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
How are you balancing that with your PT and everything else? Or do you
Uh,
only take it on when you have free time?
Basically, when I'm a PT, I never have free time.
So you take it on anyway.
I have a waiting list of clients as well, but it depends on the project really, because architecture is still something that was a part of my life for such a long time. Like I studied for 5 years and then I worked for 9. And some people do reach out to me based on past projects that I have done. And yes, if the project was something that adds value to me, and I think that I can do something, I can come up with something that adds value as well to the client, then I do take it, yes.
Okay. Okay, and it balances out, يعني.
I can
Somewhat.
do it, yes.
Okay. As a woman doing what you do, in all aspects, I would say, from your architecture to your PT to even raising your kids, how do you think you're adding value to Oman?
Basically, as I told you, influencing especially the females is a, a big goal to me. And it's something that I really focus on, especially on my social media, because even when I started coaching one-to-one, or when I started coaching one-to-one, I'm influencing one person at the time. But then when I started coaching classes, I'm influencing maybe 24, 32 girls at the time. But then we have a very powerful tool where I can post and I can educate thousands and thousands of people at the same time. So I really try to work hard here and there. And I believe that the more you educate women, they educate the kids under them. And when the kids grow to see their moms more stronger, resilient, happier, they also learn by watching them.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're adding value to the country by educating the women in the country.
Of course. Yes.
Okay. So education does play a role. Like, obviously it does play a role. What I mean is, مثلاً, how important do you think women being educated in a society is for a country itself to grow?
As mothers, they have kids and they're influencing their kids. The more educated they are, the more aware they are, the more they will teach their kids, who will grow up as well and will carry on the same mentality. Yes.
Okay. One thing you also mentioned was the fact that motherhood is a bit different than it used to be.
Definitely.
A lot of moms now are working moms.
Yes.
Do you think that's easier or harder?
It's definitely harder because it adds responsibilities to what they already have. It's basically a constant job, as all mothers know. You're basically just changing shifts from being an employee to a cook to a teacher to a mom to a nurse. But then, honestly, the hardest part of it is the opinion of the community around you.
Okay.
I feel that most moms get negative comments on them.
Working moms, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
You're leaving the kids behind. You're not taking care of them, which adds guilt to moms. And moms already
so it does
feel,
affect you.
It does affect me. And of course, feeling guilty is a part of motherhood. You'll always feel guilty. Like it comes.
Really?
It's a part of the package.
Oh God.
But then, as I told you, it's the demand right now. I mean, most women are working because they want to provide a better life for their kids.
Okay. How do you cope with the guilt, the mom guilt?
You need to remind yourself that basically you're doing what you're doing because of them, and you're doing it for them. And honestly, especially with younger kids, it's not really about how much time are you spending with them as much as it's the quality of that time.
Okay, so you focus on the quality of time with them.
Even 1 or 2 hours a day where you're 100% focused with them, doing activities or, spending it with them, doing something that they like, is much better to me than staying at home for 6-7 hours. I'm in my room and they're on their iPads in another room.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you focus on quality time with them, and
yes.
Okay, that's great. Another thing you mentioned before, you try to influence women through social media as well.
Yes.
Sometimes that can get a bit difficult. You also mentioned community and things that get said.
Yes.
Does that happen to you?
I think any Instagram account or any social media account that's public does get that type of, feedback.
Okay.
But yeah.
How do you deal with it?
You just learn how to, focus on your goals. Like, for example, I keep saying my niche are women at this point, So whatever comes from the opposite gender is not really my concern.
Oh, so you
I'm
okay.
like,
So you ignore.
whatever. Yes.
Okay, what if the comment comes from women?
I mean, not everyone is gonna like you at the end of the day. Not
Okay.
everyone is even in the fitness industry. Not all coaches will agree on one methodology. So you will never be loved by 100% of everyone around you. So as long as you see that the majority of the feedback is positive, like I might get a comment sometime. That's not the nicest thing to read. But then the number of comments that I get in return, especially in the direct messages of you encouraged me, or I joined the gym, or I'm eating healthier, or I learned many things from you. These things, makes it worth it.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're saying you kind of have to have a tough skin when you
You
open your
always have.
account to the
That's
public.
why you need to work out. You need that tough skin the whole
There's
time.
that PT energy
Yes.
coming out.
Resilience.
Aywa. Okay, so have you always had a tough skin, or did you develop it over time with the things you're doing? Because that does take tough skin to take these kinds of
No.
comments and just like let them pass by.
I think for the longest period of my life where I was living under my parents and everything was,
In a bubble.
yes, it was a nice bubble. I was a very soft, cry over everything kind of girl.
Okay.
Yes.
I understand that.
And then you leave into real life and it's a whole different story once you step out and become a mother yourself, and then you have kids under you. And as I said, I'm into high intensity training, and I think that builds resilience. And from what I see, many people who are into the high intensity fitness, they either have been through something, or they have been through traumas at some point of their life, or they wanted to build resilience. They wanted to be stronger. So yes, I think I am tougher now because of what I do at the gym. Yes, mentally and physically.
Okay. So would you push other women to try and build that resilience?
It depends on their goal, but
Okay.
I really think that women needs to be strong. Like,
I mean mentally, by the way.
mentally,
I
yes,
don't mean like CrossFit.
yes, that's
in
what I'm.
specific.
Yes,
You mean mentally?
I mean, women need to be strong mentally, because it's very easy to get affected with what people say, as you said. Like, I know girls who receive comments on their social media and they'll cry over it for a week. Like, why are you affected by a comment that came from someone you don't even know?
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
But not only girls, I know men who. I mean, I'm not making fun of men who cry. Men can cry. You can cry if you want to. I just mean that these days, like, social media affects so much to the point where people care. Yani, they live their life for likes and stuff, and I'm actually shocked when I hear certain things. And I've heard of people, for example, posting Dior bags, like مثلا a empty plastic bag, and going like, thanks for the gift, and no one gave them a gift, for example.
Yes.
Come on, yani, that to me reached the level that I was shocked to hear, but the number of people who do it,
As men?
men and women.
Yes.
And I've also heard, for example, I've seen in the younger generation, and my sister's generation and younger, for example, let's say they didn't go out, yani, and then they'll ask their cousin or friend who went out, like, send me a picture, and they'll take a picture of, they'll post a picture of their outing, كأنه they went out.
Yes.
And I don't get that. Like, why do people need to think you went out if you just stayed at home, yani?
Because you need to reach a standard, and that's the thing. That's exactly what I was saying when we were talking about beauty standards. As long as you're trying to reach to a standard that's set by others, you'll never get there, because as you reach to that standard, the standards will grow and they will move, and the standards will change, because they want you to keep on trying. It's a business industry at the end of the day. So learning how to set your own standards and reach your own goals is what will build a resilient mind that doesn't get affected really easily by what people say or what you have and have not.
In a society like ours, do you think it's possible to reach that level of really not caring?
I mean, you really
Because our
need to,
society does care about what
you need
people
to
say.
block
كلام
your,
الناس.
yes. I mean, at the end of the day, I would lie if I said it does not affect you
At all.
At all, 100%, because then I think you will need, attention as well. But you have to set a limit. For example, I read something, it affected me. I'll not let it affect me for more than 5 minutes. Why? Because this, in return, will not negatively affect my life for the next 5 years.
Okay.
So why should I really give it
Oh, you
from
use
my
that
energy?
5 minutes, 5 years thing. I tried, but then I'm like, I'm still mad. 1 hour later, I feel like I need to go home, tell my husband, Leon, they did this. It made me upset. And then I'm like, okay, now I'll let it go. But I tried the 5 minutes because I read it and I was like, that is so smart. 5 minutes only. And then I end up talking for 1 hour and then I'm like, okay, khalas, I'm done. But it's a good rule to live by,
Well, yes.
if you can.
You need to practice as well.
Yeah, I don't think I've mastered the practice of not venting for more than an hour.
But still, 1 hour is good.
I mean, it's better
Yeah,
than
it's-
nothing, or like 3 days, you
Yes.
know. But it's not the 5 minute standard that like they preach. So
Yeah.
I commend you for reaching the 5 minute standard.
I think it takes less than 5 minutes.
Oh my
in my
God,
case.
mashallah. Please teach us your methods. It so doesn't work for me. If I get mad, it's like 1 hour and I have to say everything that's on my mind, which is not always very nice. And then I'm like, oh, I don't know why I was so upset. I don't feel anything. Okay. Your story is very interesting. I think it does push people. I mean, it pushed me, for example, to think if I want to change something, I take an unpaid leave and then I don't come back.
I do not recommend.
Okay, so you're not telling other people just
I am
take
not-
an unpaid
Yes.
leave and don't come back
Don't quit your jobs.
until you
That's-
secure something different.
Yes, basically.
Okay. No, but technically you didn't quit your job. You took an unpaid leave
Yeah.
and then you just didn't come back.
I went back
Oh, you went back?
for a week.
You want to count that week?
No.
Okay.
Done.
Thank you very much.